Hello, my name is Nori Nishigaya, and I'm doing the closeout video for the Fund 7 Catalyst Accelerator and Mentors proposal called Bridge Builders Mentorship. Our approach with this proposal, which was funded, was to provide mentorship to funded proposals around topics like strategy, business model, community management, creating collaborative structures, and general leadership skills. And this is our summary of what happened. So, eating our own kind of dog food, we started with our own retrospective of how the project went. And this video will kind of summarize all of these stickies that we have here, plus our closeout report, which is also part of this package that we're submitting at the end of Fund 7. So we talked about sweet fruits, what went well, the hidden gold, shout out to the team, pirates on the shore, what didn't go well, and message in a bottle, actions, points for the future. So this is kind of the fun little model we used to come up with what went well, what didn't, what we could do better in the future. So here is our summary. Let's jump right in. So first of all, for the Bridge Builders Mentorship Challenge, we focused on the challenge KPIs that were part of the challenge setting itself. So it stated its goals were the number of projects that can be accelerated, the number of mentors and investors that are onboarded, distribution of programs around the world to serve different audiences, and quality and strength of opportunities each accelerator brings. So for our first challenge KPI, we wound up mentoring over 12 different projects in the mentoring cohort in some capacity or another. That included the Sakura SPO community, Cardano for Climate, the Little Fish Foundation, Gimbal Labs, the Treasury Guild, Locks Incorporated, One Up, One Down, Snapbrilia, the NFT Guild, Argus NFT, the Leadership Academy, and Swarm. For the number of mentors and investors onboarded, there were 4 people within Bridge Builders that was onboarded as mentors, and we all participated in this proposal. Distribution of programs around the world to different audiences. The mentee groups, the 12 here that are shown, were pretty well distributed around the world, so we were pretty diverse in who we engaged with. And then the quality and strength of opportunity each accelerator brings. Our Bridge Builder approach leveraged the unique skills of each of the mentors, and we pretty much custom fit what we offered to each group rather than coming in with a fixed program. So our project itself had a number of KPIs. These were around the number of organized and hosted public sessions and workshops, the number of organized and hosted one-on-one sessions, and the generation of playbooks and blueprints. For the number of organized and hosted public sessions and workshops, we did not achieve these sessions. We ran out of time, couldn't get to them, but we did change focus, and we started and proposed a challenge proposal to help support ongoing operations for funded proposers, because that surfaced pretty quickly in our conversations with groups as an issue. Funded proposals found it difficult, fund after fund, to keep seeking more funding for their project when they weren't in a done state. And sometimes challenge categories would vanish altogether, and they would be stuck not knowing where to put in proposals, and then just the fatigue of having to fund and not knowing the results of that time after time. So we helped craft together, based on all of their feedback, Fund 8 challenge setting for funded proposers. Unfortunately, it didn't get through, but I think it has spurred on a lot of conversations around Catalyst contributors and how we make a more sustainable environment for proposals that have been funded, and how they can continue to seek funding if they're continuing to meet their goals and stuff. So we're excited to see where that conversation goes. For the number of organized and hosted one-on-one sessions, we did have 12 plus groups that we met with, and this was kind of our primary focus. We found that it was much more effective to have focused one-on-one meetings with groups and really custom tailor based on our broad range of different people that we have in our group here to create a custom program for them and engage in the way that would help them the best. And our last KPI was generation of playbooks and blueprints. And we've finalized a strategic planning blueprint, which we have tested with some of the mentees and are currently testing with some more. So once we iron out the kinks and get through all of that, we will be publishing a final version that will be shared with the community. Next up, key achievements. So the key achievements here were development of a more structured approach to mentoring. We identified that many projects actually need support. And then we achieved some team alignment. So coming back to the first one, developing a more structured approach, we found that building networks and ecosystems was really critical to the success of our mentees, and the continuing of support of mentorship and learning is really important. So that was kind of one of the things we developed through our model, was kind of not just helping them with specific topics, but helping them to build networks and ecosystems and get tied into things to be more successful. We identified that many projects need support. There's a variety of topics that different projects need. Includes things like business models, strategy, strategic planning, leadership skills, building mechanisms to turn good intentions into reliable mechanisms for execution. And then lastly, but not leastly, building community. And then team alignment. This was the first time the four of us at Bridge Builders really engaged in a serious proposal together. So there was a fair bit of storming, forming, and norming that went on. And at the end, I think we've come to a really good, strong team with some good team agreements in place. And that was a really great key achievement for our group personally. Key learnings. So some of the key learnings that we found was it's really important to find alignment to your gifts. Each of us brings different strengths to the group, and being able to engage with different groups using your different gifts was really great to achieve. So we could pick and choose which groups needed whose leadership skills or whose strategic planning skills, and we assembled the right team for the right mentees in real time. So that was really nice to be able to not do one size fits all, but have people jump in where their strengths really shined. Collaboration is essential to shared vision. And managing different stakeholders and competing agendas was something that we learned we needed to do, because it's not just a single stakeholder at many times. There may be competing agendas going on. So managing those things was really important. The importance of guidance and transparency on operations was something that we've really leaned in on. And that's kind of a key learning that we ourselves use, but we pass that on to our mentees as well. Identify different needs between startups and service projects. So one really key learning we found was there are at least two different kinds of communities within the Catalyst ecosystem. There are the startup type projects that are building a product and they're ramping up to some kind of a public launch and using Catalyst as seed funding. And their goal is eventually to have a product and go off to be a successful company. And that's one model. There's another type of projects that's kind of a service project or an infrastructure project. And they are really providing services to Catalyst to help Catalyst work better. So they don't have an end game or an exit strategy or any of those standard things. They're there to help the community be better. And they have way different needs than these other communities. So that was really interesting to really find clarity around that through our mentoring activities. And through that, we've actually developed different strategies to deal with the different types of stakeholders there. And then one really key learning is connecting people to the network can accelerate their success in Catalyst. So we had a few mentees who came in who are brand new to Catalyst, and they were able to connect with the community, get the help they needed, get the training they needed, understand the processes, meet the right people, and put in proposals, and they were successful in Fund 8. So that was a really great kind of key learning that we can actually help accelerate through the mentorship process and engaging and connecting people to the network. All right. So what are our next steps? Our next steps for Bridge Builders is creating our own strategic plan and business model. So we've started this process. We're eating our own dog food and going through our strategic plan blueprint ourselves and creating our own strategic plan as an organization. And we will continue building blueprints for mentorship. So our strategic planning blueprint is our first one. We will continue with others, such as how to effectively use business model canvases and how to discover your mission, vision, and purpose, and things like that. Cross-chain collaboration is important. So we are actively reaching out to other blockchains who are either congruent or aligned with Cardano, so we can start to bring some of those people into the Catalyst ecosystem, as well as bridge to their blockchains as well. The future's cross-chain, so we want to make sure that we're part of that conversation out there. Connecting to external entities and groups to Cardano is a prime goal of ours. So we work within Catalyst and within a lot of the communities inside Catalyst, but we also actively seek out external entities and groups that may find Catalyst or Cardano interesting. So that's one of our key activities that we're going to be engaging in next. And we're really working towards encouraging a culture where funded proposers include mentoring as a budget item. We found that mentoring was a secret sauce for a lot of the projects that we mentored. So we do think that mentoring is important, and having Catalyst fund mentors to go out and mentor projects is not a long-term sustainable thing. So we want to encourage a culture where funded proposers are including line items for mentoring within their budget so that they can be more successful over time. And their mentoring won't just come from Bridge Builders. We may be part of that, but there's a huge growing community of mentors in our ecosystem, and we should be engaging with them and making a culture of funded proposers reaching out and contacting these mentors and really helping accelerate their project to success. And then finally, our final thoughts. We're going to keep on going. We didn't get funded in Fund 8 with our proposals, but that hasn't stopped us. We're going to keep building, and we're going to make it even better. So I will end this with a couple of videos that have been contributed from the community, giving a little bit of kudos to what we've done. Thank you.
Hey, this is James from Gimbal Labs, and I just want to say thank you to Bridge Builders for all the support you've given us over the last few months. You've helped Gimbal Labs refine its messaging. You've helped us all think more clearly. You've introduced new opportunities to collaborate, and those are blossoming into really exciting partnerships. And you've taken on a lot of administrative work so that developers can spend more time developing. This is amazing, and we're so grateful to you. Thank you to all of you just for being great people, great friends, and for all the support you've provided both professionally and personally over the time I've known you. Cheers, and looking forward to seeing what's next.
Hey, Bridge Builders, want to give you guys a shout out. Thank you!
Thank you!